This is gonna be mints all over the place, bro.
The what is?
Pure mints. Enjoy the mint, bitch.
You're loud, man. There's kids in here.
There's a YouTube channel. It goes by the name of Mr. Snowflake.
Yeah, he's keeping the Misfits alive with us, that's for sure, for eternity. Yeah. Those were the days back then.
You idiot.
Let's do a little follow-up to see
Just
if he's
needs
got
mop.
to clean
Just
and
needs
you
mop.
fucking haven't.
What the fuck is Dolan Duck?
Pretends to be a duck. He's not.
Ready?
They used to call me tripod or anaconda, yeah.
Is that because you swallowed your food without chewing, or why was that? Lack of table manners, or what?
It amazes me. It's almost like he's black. Stop it! Please stop!
World Gym, represent! That's right, man! Delray Beach! You porn addict! There you go! Black Lives Matter right there!
The last time we were in the Misfit company, all of the focus was on Big Lenny and Jason Genova. Both had competed at the Ruby Classic, and both came dead last. So what now for the both of them? The Ruby Classic was their end game, the big event they had been building to for some time. Well, they both may have finished in last place, but their journey in the following months were very different to one another. Lenny was already thinking about next year's Ruby Classic and what he could do differently to win it.
Yeah, Lenny, have you met Pajamas?
Never met what?
Pajamas?
PJ, I first heard about your muscular development. I like your story about you and about your dad was saying that was very inspirational. It's similar to mine.
Thank you.
Yeah, finally great to meet you. Yeah,
We're a little leaner than the last time, right?
Yeah, but I overdid it with the legs and such.
We're a little leaner than the last time, right? We're a little leaner than the last time, right?
Yeah, but I overdid it.
If Lenny didn't know what he needed to do next year to win, then he certainly knew after PJ Braun's comment about him looking a little too lean. Lenny knew to win the competition next year he would need to be even bigger and even freakier than we had ever seen him before. PJ Braun wasn't the only past character to make an appearance that night. Ian McCarthy, Jason's former Koth and YouTube fitness star, showed up to the after party. And although we knew who Ian was, not everyone did.
Why did you come and introduce yourself, Ian?
Hopefully we can do some more damage next year. I'm really excited.
Why didn't you come and introduce yourself?
Oh, I assumed you knew who I was.
He assumed I knew who he was. Oh my God. He assumed I knew who he was.
The after party was exactly what Lenny needed after losing. The Maniacs were there to celebrate with their hero, as well as Lenny's fellow Misfits. Brad was there, Nate was there, Koth Andrew wouldn't have missed it for the world, and Jay Masters was there and was being his usual quiet, reserved self.
My name is Jay Masters, and I've jacked off to tranny porn.
But it wasn't all fun and laughter. One man there had the audacity, the stupidity, to challenge Big Lenny.
I don't really care. Whatever.
So you're challenging Lenny to a fight?
Basically, yeah.
Basically.
Whatever.
100%.
Whatever rules you'd like.
100%.
You can bulk up 350 pounds whenever you like.
And I was being told over there you're vegan?
Yeah, I'm representing vegan gains here.
Wait, are you gonna fight Lenny?
Yeah. Did you accept? It's a
I
challenge.
said any second you want.
Shake on it.
Shaker and a half.
You have to film the handshake.
See, a nice little wimpy shake, you kill me. But remember, there's no hatred involved.
No, it's
all motivation.
But,
I like fighting.
but you like to fight. Who did you ever fight? A lot of people. Cookie cutter, I've heard, believe me, dude, I'm twice your age, I've heard it all before. Who did you fight? And when?
I've trained with a lot of people.
Who did you fight? You've trained with people. You said you fought people. Who did you fight? And when?
What define fight?
Define fight. History is written by the victors.
How come Lenny's not picking on the biggest guy here? That's my only question.
I had a small vegan that challenged me, Jay. I don't pick on anybody.
Lenny just spit on me.
Well, there, I picked on you. How's that? Want me to lick it off there, Jay?
The vegan challenged Lenny, but it didn't look like he was committed to his challenge, especially once Lenny started to talk back. We knew the vegan was not going to follow through with his challenge. Lenny was just too much man for him. A vegan that issues a challenge with no intention of following through. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, again, I'll fight you.
The fight probably was never going to happen, but Lenny accepted the challenge anyway. There was no challenge Lenny would turn down. But why? Why would Lenny never back down to anything or anyone? Well, in a very special video, we were lucky enough to see Lenny back in his hometown of Pennsylvania. But rather than Andrew filming this momentous occasion, it was Lenny's friend John. And some of Lenny's stories from his youth shed light onto why Lenny was who he was today.
This is fat fucking Lenny, Oakmont, Pennsylvania. I got my ear pierced, not because of John, but because I was a cookie cutter. This is about 18 or whatever. So, I'm in the house. John's waiting for me outside, you know, because we ate dinner as a family, unlike most of you porn addicts that don't. And my sister said to my father at the table, "Look, Lenny got his ear pierced." And my father looked at my right ear, nothing there. He looked at my left ear, lunged toward me, grabbed it, pulling it out. He says, "You take that thing out, I'm gonna rip it out right now." My father had me wear wrist and ankle weights and run around these backstops around the field. What haunts me to this day is the fact that I did not play football my senior year. And my father being he took me as a little baby, early 70s, took me to the field house in front of Coach Wagner and said, "This is my son, newborn son, Leonard. He's gonna be a great player, better than me one day." And that put the expectations on me, which I should have followed through, and it haunts me to this day. Right there was the weight room. He'd open those doors up in the summer. Hot as hell in the summer, freezing cold in the winter. And my father was there 7 days a week. There was no such thing as overtraining. And he'd lift, and he would grunt and groan every night after dinner, and he'd take a shower and go to sleep. But that's where it started for me, right there at age 13. Many a workout pumping up right in that dungeon right there. He'd hang a punching bag, one of his heavy bags on. He'd punch it after work, come home, take his suit off, punch it without bag gloves. His knuckles were bloody. I mean, that's a businessman for you. But he always talk about bullet board material. He'd always tape something up from the paper from the local high school pros. Say if you see somebody going to a dance or doing some cookie cutter material, he'd post it up. And when I was a kid, he'd say, "Look at that." He goes, "This person's out having fun." He goes, "You're in the weight room." He goes, "You think about that at practice. When you get that son of a bitch on the field, you're going to let him push you around, take your position, eat your lunch." Before I was able to lift weights, my workout was very simple. It was this. Running up and down this hill, up and down, up and down, up and down. 20 rotations a day, every day, rain, snow, whatever, heat, mosquitoes, wasps, whatever. Run up and down as fast as you can. He wanted to see it. He wanted to make sure my brothers and sisters made sure I did. Me and my brother did that.
Now it made sense as to why Lenny would never back down to anyone. He was raised differently to us mere mortals, and it made sense why Lenny wanted to be this big monster and why he didn't want to be a loser. He didn't want to be a failure at anything, and that especially included next year's Ruby Classic. One way Lenny planned on gaining more size for next year was to eat. And when an eating challenge from Knee Wrapped Nate was issued to Lenny, well, knowing what we know now about Lenny, there was no way he was going to turn it down.
Lenny, is there anything you'd like to say to Nate before we get started?
Oh man, a few words, but my words mean something. Who's your female inspiration for this?
Christina Broccolini. Christina Broccolini!
Nate, you've gone too far. That's just too far.
Lenny would seem to be the obvious favourite. He was a much bigger man after all. But this wasn't Nate's first rodeo. He often did food challenges on his own channel and was successful in the vast majority of them. It may have seemed bad for Nate's health, doing all these food challenges, but he ate fairly well the rest of the time and worked out often. I mean, what kind of person would just overeat constantly, risking their health just for the sake of some measly views?
It's just wonderful.
Lenny v Nate in an eating challenge sounded like a fun video, but there was nothing fun about it for Lenny. This was all-out war.
Now, you're gonna fucking die.
Let's do it.
Nate, as well as Andrew behind the camera, were viewing all of this as a bit of fun, but not Lenny. Lenny wanted to win, or more accurately, Lenny didn't want to lose. Imagine what Lenny's father would have said to Lenny if he had seen him lose to a smaller man at anything, never mind an eating challenge. Lenny was confident of winning the challenge. After all, he was cursed, he was blessed with that huge freaky gut he had. Although Lenny wasn't the obvious pick for some.
Who do you think's gonna win the eating challenge? The big guy? The big guy with the weird patches of hair on his head? Or the other guy with the baseball cap on? Who's your money on?
Watch the table, I'm sure
You don't?
has spies in here that's gonna dump food out.
Who do you think's gonna win? She thinks she's got you,
I know,
Nate.
thank you. The 18-year-old, forever, right here. Good choice.
And the waitress may have been correct in her prediction, because it quickly became apparent that Nate was a pro at this.
Look at Nate's eyes. I see the vomit coming out of his eyes. He doesn't look good. See, when I was a young boy, we ate dinner as a family, which is a rarity these days from what I hear. And my father would watch carefully, make sure me and my sister and my brother chewed our food correctly. And if my sister, she was most guilty of it. She started eating too fast or whatever, he'd smack her in the face. He'd say, "You're pythoning it. You're pythoning it down." That's what you're doing.
That's
You're pythoning it.
pythoning food.
I understand
he's
you were.
done with the
I heard
play.
you were-
All right.
I understand you were recruited to play.
How long would that
It
take?
took him 26 minutes to complete that.
And it took you how long?
Like 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Are you?
Lenny's getting full. That's why he's moving. He moved to watermelons. Now he's moving to sweets, like desserts and whatnot. So that's him secretly tapping out. We all know it. He won't admit it, but he's tapping out.
Come on, Nate.
Things weren't looking good for Lenny. He was eating much more slowly than Nate and seemed to be getting sleepier with every plate consumed. But Lenny wasn't stopping. None of them would back down. It did appear at first as if Nate had this in the bag, but Lenny, bite after slow bite, was slowly closing the gap. Lenny would not back down and would not roll over to anyone. Lenny wasn't raised to be a quitter, he was raised to be a winner. If he lost this, there's no doubt he would be hearing his father in his head, calling him a loser, a quitter, a disgrace. Lenny, though he ate much more slowly than Nate, did catch back up. However, he was clearly struggling. He looked tired and on the verge of being sick, and Nate started to slow down. Eventually, after looking at each other's penises,
You're getting an erection. The two don't mix.
I'm trying to be right.
Nate can't piss if I'm standing here.
Oh. Shut up. Don't talk to me.
the pair agreed that the contest would be decided by who could finish the desserts the fastest. Lenny may not have won the ruby, but he was not going to lose this contest as well. This wasn't a game for Lenny, this was life and death, and the world was watching.
Okay,
Try to
5,
psych me out.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, that was real close.
He's still chewing.
You might have to go to the instant replay on that one.
You're still chewing. Open your mouth. Look at all that food in his mouth.
In the words of Warner Wolf, we might have to go to the videotape on that one.
Oh,
That was close.
I got a brain freeze.
So the question now is, will there be a second date?
There's got to be.
Is there going to be a dinner date next?
Because I believe I won that speed challenge.
You all right, Nate?
Huh?
You all right?
I got Nate on the brain freeze. Like I said, it's like in the words of Jay Masters. It's like a chess game. I set everything up. I went to the ice cream first. Nate went to it last, and he got the brain freeze. And I didn't use any water in the earlier one. He did. As everything's inconclusive. We started out, if you can see, we started out saying it wasn't a time tested thing. Then when we did the time tested thing, Nate cheated and used water. And then at the end, I legitimately spanked him.
You didn't even beat me that time. He was still chewing.
No.
I had nothing.
There was
in my
no
mouth.
chewing. You said I'm chewing. I'm standing there. There's no chewing.
No, you were like this.
Come on. That's my,
He was like,
my normal face is
we
like
can,
that.
We can we'll replay on camera. He's like this.
Well, the problem with Lenny is sometimes the twitching can be misconstrued as chewing.
I haven't even seen him twitch.
I was going to say,
He's been twitching.
It's inconclusive.
Okay.
He's been twitching.
You're a pro. You're an undefeated pro, and I just basically handed him his ass.
Lenny didn't win. He was still eating while Nate had stopped, although he had convinced himself he had won it. He hadn't convinced Nate, Andrew, or the maniacs watching at home, but it didn't really matter at this point anyway. Lenny was the moral victor. It looked like he was down and out on multiple occasions and never stopped fighting. He had earned himself more fans in defeat than if he had won it. Most mortal men would have quit, totally given up, but the upbringing Lenny had would not allow him to be a quitter, and even if you wanted Lenny to win this contest, you could still take away the fact that no one had the heart of Big Lenny. So what about our other misfit that competed at the Ruby? What about Jason Genova? Well, in the immediate aftermath of the Ruby, Jason was on cloud 9. That might seem a little strange considering he came dead last, but Jason didn't really want to be a bodybuilder. He wanted to be famous more than anything, which is why he didn't really take the competition seriously.
How much do you weigh now?
I weighed like 180 something.
You don't remember your weight when you weighed in?
180.
I thought he'd weigh 175.
He did last week.
Yeah, last week.
You were, what happened between then and now?
I gained water weight.
Honestly, what happened?
Water weight. I blew up for some reason.
No, he cheated.
I didn't cheat.
Oh, he did?
Whoa.
I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat.
I should put you on the spot.
I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat.
Well, a good journalist always follows up. So, Jane, what?
I didn't cheat.
He
Come
came
on.
to my house one day and he had a couple of snacks.
That's okay.
Well, I don't know
The
what
best
he did
shape I had
otherwise.
in my life.
Yes, what Jason wanted to be more than anything was famous. It's why he seemed to care more about filming in World Gym than actually working out in it. However, the owner of the gym banned Jason from filming videos inside the gym for his channel because of some of his bad behavior. This ban came as no surprise to the maniacs. They were used to seeing Jason behaving poorly, whether it was stomping around shouting or simply stinking up the place. He really could have done with taking a page out of Big Richard's gym etiquette playbook.
There's a lot of fucking assholes that come in gyms and they don't know the proper etiquette. And the first thing, of course, is to be courteous to the people in the gym unless they're total assholes. Don't touch the equipment if the person's using something. Like if I'm on the Smith machine, stay the fuck away from the Smith machine. Don't put weights on and off it. Don't come near me. I'm using that piece of equipment. The other thing is if you sweat on the equipment, wipe your fucking sweat off. Don't be lazy. Don't be a frickin' pig. But if you're actually using the mirror, using a bar, and you want to look in the mirror for some reason to make sure you're beautiful or that your sets are correct, then they need to get out of the way. And you can tell them politely the first time, hey man, I'm standing here, I'm using this mirror. And if they look at you like a deer in a headlight, then you can get in their shit and explain to them the proper gym etiquette, that they're fucking morons. They have weight trees. First of all, this is a weight tree right here. This is where the weights go. They don't go on the equipment, they go on the weight tree, okay? And they don't go on the floor so I can trip and break my neck.
Do you go heavy to light or light to heavy?
It doesn't matter. It should go light on the top and heavy to the bottom, but you can't teach people that because they just dump it.
No, because if you bend over to grab the heavy, you pull your back, you put it up higher.
If you pull your back out by grabbing the heavy, you shouldn't be in the gym.
Correct.
Yeah, go to one of these women's gyms and jerk off in there. You shouldn't do it. You don't leave weights or you don't leave bars on the ground so people can trip over and break their neck.
What was it, yesterday?
Yeah, I tripped on a 45-pound bar somebody put on the floor. That's not cool. I didn't see it. I'm talking to somebody.
Cool, actually.
No, I don't care what color they are, what race, what nationality, what creed, anything. If they sweat on the equipment or they don't put their weights away or they're abusing the equipment, I'm going to say something. This is the first episode of gym etiquette, and we're going to add to this as we go on.
Chick in a gym and you're eyeballing her and you want to strike up a conversation. What's the right way, the wrong way? What's the Big Richard approach?
Hey, let me smell your snatch.
No, that's the Brad approach that gets you nowhere fast.
Big Richard would never go up and talk to a woman if she didn't want to talk back to him.
What do you do when you get approached by somebody and they start telling you what to do as far as your exercise go? They engage you in conversation when you don't want to be bothered, you just want to do your exercise routine.
Kind of like right now.
How would you respond to somebody that's doing that on a regular basis?
Well, I guess it depends who it is and if I think they can actually give me some helpful information.
Oh,
if
so
not,
you're open to, depending on how they present themselves.
Right, if it's someone that's actually knowledgeable, I would probably take their information to heart.
Okay, that's a very good answer. I didn't expect that.
But there are some people who come over and I'm not interested in what they have to say, and I would probably tell them I don't need your help.
Well, because a lot of times attractive women are targets for unsolicited advances, if you will. That's a nice way to put it.
Kind of like right now.
Kind of like right now.
I'm going to keep saying that over and over.
It happens here,
It does.
believe it or not.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm a transgender person. I used to be a woman. I decided to be a man. So people
you
would leave me alone.
understand my pain.
Yeah, so people would leave me alone.
Well, maybe you can do a set and Big Richard can critique your form.
I already have critiqued her form.
He's critiqued
and she
my
gets
form.
she gets a AAA.
As well as listening to Richard about gym etiquette, Jason really could have done with paying attention when Richard tried to tell him some home truths.
You're obsessed over these videos and your presence online. You got to come down to reality. You're a local guy who lifts weights. You're not a fucking celebrity like these famous bodybuilders that win contests, okay? Come down to reality. You're preoccupied with that. I'm just telling you. And you don't listen to anybody and see you walking away from me.
You try to help him and he walks away.
Exactly. We're your friends in here. We try and help you, man. We don't want you to be taken advantage of like you have over the years from people that just want to use you or make fun of you.
There was another bodybuilding show just a month after the Ruby, and Jason planned on competing. This time he was going to be even bigger, and that would help him win it. Or at least it would in his mind. And a win at a bodybuilding show would do wonders for his fame. However, there was a problem. To enter the competition, it would cost $200. $200 Jason didn't have. Maybe Jason could work more hours at Publix to get the money. Maybe he could start a fan fund online and take donations. Or maybe he could just beg for money from PJ Brown.
I need some money for my costs. My mom's really being on my nerves. She's getting on my case. She says, "Oh, this is what she told me. Oh, I'll see about giving you the money and all this stuff." And it says blah blah blah.
What money do you need for what?
To enter my content right now. There's no late fee.
Are you going to be in the video tonight? We need you for that for the Black Friday video tonight. If you need that money,
are you working?
I gotta be here.
Working at Publix?
I'm working. I can't help my work.
Can I ask you a question? Tell the truth. Where is all of your money that you're getting from, like, YouTube?
It's locked up. She won't let me touch it.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not lying to you. She's controlling all my money.
You can't. Are you in shape?
The best shape I've ever been in.
Let's see. If you're in good shape, then maybe I'll think about paying for you. We'll run you through your poses. Why are you shaking so much? What is the name of this show?
The South Southern Show.
The South Southern Show.
The Southern South Show.
You're posing with a different leg this time. I notice you've got some holes in the inside of those boxers, so keep your legs a little closer together. The aviator shades.
I got them. I got them from a friend. He hooked me up with them.
You're lucky that I have cash on me today as well. There you go. So you have $200 there.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
You gonna wear a Blackstone shirt at the show?
Yeah, I have one right here. I'm gonna wear it.
Jason always seemed to be popping into the Blackstone Labs offices, and it always seemed to be to lend money.
You know what, Jason? I actually don't have cash on me.
I mean, I can't think of another reason why Jason kept popping in.
It makes him stay up? Yeah, I want to do that with some celestial body stuff.
It's like Viagra for pants.
It gives you like a little bit of... Yeah, I want to do that for some celestial body stuff, like to do like ultra low rise. Because it really, like, you do not have to pull them up.
How low would be ultra low rise? Like,
PJ Braun had been accused in the past of just using Jason's name to help push his business, but it seemed like PJ was there to help Jason when he needed it. It seemed like that for now anyway. Watching Jason over on the Blackstone Labs YouTube channel felt odd somehow. Jason being filmed by anyone other than Andrew just didn't feel right. It almost felt like you were cheating on the Misfits. So, now that Jason had his well-earned $200, he could enter the competition. But before the competition, there was a very special chance to grab a little more fame. A magazine wanted to do a full feature on Jason as well as the other Misfits. Jason, of course, was absolutely loving the attention.
So fucking ridiculous. What the
fuck? Is that your money shot right there?
It's Brad's face that I'm laughing.
That's actually a really good picture. That's funny.
Aww. That's cute.
Let's see.
Kiss each other.
One more. Brad, that'll be fine. Absolutely, we can do that.
Wear a Speedo, preferably white.
No.
Will you settle for fire engine red?
I would.
Are you wearing them, Jason? You're wearing them, aren't
But I
you?
got them in the car. I'm gonna put them on. Fire engine red. Here we go. Choo choo.
There's no filming allowed in the aerobics room. You're gonna have to vacate, please. Sir?
What?
Your membership's been revoked.
Really?
Yes. There's no filming in the aerobics room.
What?
With the photo shoot for the magazine now over, and his $200, Jason was ready to enter the competition. Andrew couldn't make the trip sadly, so Nate was our cameraman. Jason had competed in a show years earlier, and had recently competed at the Ruby of course, so Jason may not have been an expert at competing yet, but he did have some experience. So you would expect Jason to do things correctly. Simple things like using the proper bodybuilding oil.
Oh my god! He bring the cooking spray. Oh, he's gonna make me do that shit.
Fans weren't sure whether they were watching Bodybuilding Jason or Chef Jason. As well as bringing his cooking oil with him, Jason also had a lot of supplements and pre-workouts and everything he had gotten from Blackstone Labs from over the years, and he was infamous for taking way too much all at once. I wonder if he had taken any of it today. The pair arrived at the competition and Jason believed he had a good chance of finishing in a respectable place, perhaps even first place. However, as soon as Jason stood next to the other competitors, it was clear he was not in the same league as those men. Although, to be fair to Jason, he did have bigger legs than the guy he was stood next to. And he had the best posing trunks on as well.
I look better than last time, though. Do I look better than Ruby?
You want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
You look better at the Ruby.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I think you look better at the Ruby.
I'm a lot bigger now.
You are a lot bigger, but that could be not so great of a thing.
Yes, it is.
Jason may have thought he looked better at the Ruby, but Nate did not. The way Nate dealt with Jason was perfect. He would tell Jason the truth, often disagree with him, but Nate did it in a way that didn't cause Jason to storm off angry and upset.
Yeah, well, you probably do have more muscle, but you also are carrying, I think, my personal opinion, more fat.
I disagree, I think.
The pair had some time to kill before the nighttime show competition, and since Jason was competing in just a few hours, he made sure he stuck to eating only healthy foods.
Pudding, creme brulee, those crispy donuts, whatever it is.
Mousse or something?
Mousse.
The pair went for a stroll around a mall, where Jason got to indulge in something he loved even more than desserts. He got to tell strangers just how famous he was.
I do bodybuilding and fitness.
You do what?
Bodybuilding and fitness.
You sure do.
Yep.
Don't lie about how much views and subscribers and all that stuff you have.
Over 20,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Look how many
So what happens once you get like a bunch of subscribers?
I get paid for YouTube.
Oh, YouTube pays you?
Yeah.
Well, not YouTube, Google.
In the last two? No, that's true.
You said what?
1,500 in the last 2 months off YouTube.
Finally, it was time for the nighttime show, and Jason was ready to blow the competition away. He just had to not make the same mistakes he did at the Ruby. This time, he needed to not rush through his posing. Well, Jason rushed through his posing, sometimes not even getting into a full pose before switching to the next one. Jason would not go on to win the competition, and he would come in last place, and it was clear to even non-bodybuilding fans that Jason deserved to be in last place. He hadn't trained hard enough, he clearly had not been sticking to a diet, and he obviously hadn't done the right amount of cardio. All these factors played a part in Jason losing. Although Jason had a very different explanation as to why he didn't win.
Shows for you.
I got robbed by Peter Putner again.
Who's Peter Putner?
Peter Putner, the judge.
Oh, okay. Did you see the guys you were competing against, though?
I was the biggest, most muscular guy, though.
Those dudes that you were competing against.
I'm bigger than them. A lot bigger than them.
Those dudes are fucking jacked, man.
Not as big as me in leg department.
It didn't seem to make sense. How could Jason possibly think he should have placed higher than the guys he competed against? They were all in much better condition than he was, and it just didn't make sense to anybody watching. Well, at first it didn't make sense, but when we look back at the Ruby when Jason lost there, we see where Jason got his delusions from.
Hey, don't think I don't hear you laughing back here, Brad.
Look at Jane. Jane is pissed. She's fucking pissed. Genuinely pissed. She's over there stamping her feet, fucking shaking her head.
It's politics, Brad. It's politics.
Jason and his mother must have been the only two people on the planet who could watch Jason compete on stage and think he was ever robbed. I mean, what kind of person could be that delusional? Jason was disappointed with his placing. He had felt the judges had robbed him of some extra fame points. But no matter, he had the chance to grab a little more fame at a fitness expo he was headed to with his old buddy Nate. Usually at these things you get to have your photo taken and shake hands with some well-known person in the fitness community, whether it be a fitness YouTuber or a bodybuilder or a strongman. But Jason spent most of his time trying to make a quick buck.
You want one? $10.
$10.
What does it say?
It says enjoy the mint.
This one says peace of buy. Enjoy the mint on it. Peace of buy, my favorite slogan.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You have change?
Nope, I got my card. You got change? Mom, you got change? You got change? A bill, you find a bill. Like you did. You should solve that. But you want to go get it?
Jason. I know he's a savage, right?
Straight savage. Come out here with a box like this Oakland Park flea market.
Sell, baby!
You can't sell the shirts. What are you gonna do?
No.
He said, how much are you selling the magazines for?
$10.
Oh my god.
With the autograph.
It's an autograph. That's worth a lot more than $10.
Whose autograph? Mine! About a couple months ago.
After the Ruby Classic.
Yeah. You want it? $10.
Oh my god.
I'm not paying $10 for a magazine.
With an autograph. It's piss.
Okay, so trying to sell some of his merch wasn't exactly a good look for him. But he still had fans there wanting to take a picture with him, and he couldn't wait to indulge in his favourite pastime.
You gotta introduce yourself.
I'm a YouTube celebrity. I got like,
yeah,
we got a lot of views. Yeah, how you doing?
A lot of views is correct. A lot of views is correct.
Over.
Don't give a number.
Millions
Don't put a
and
number.
millions, upon millions.
Oh, 9 million. Damn. Okay, Jason. 9,462,000.
But what's the real total? What do you tell people how much the real total is?
All over the internet with all the tribute videos and the Misfits and everything, over 100 million. You flew in from Russia? You flew in from Russia? Oh wow, Russia. You know I'm big on YouTube, right?
What?
I'm big on YouTube.
Big on YouTube?
I have over on grand total on all YouTube over 100 million views. I'm Jason Genova, the YouTube story. Jason Genova.
You're making a celebrity.
Yes.
Number one, yes.
An icon.
An icon of fitness.
Look at the sexiest. Too much sexiest. Not talking about YouTube.
You know how many grand total views I got on YouTube?
How many?
All the Misfits and all my channels, all the tribute videos people make about me. Probably between 80 and 100 million.
Really? Good for you.
Sorry. I gotta have it. I'm big. I was in a magazine. Piss! I'm a celebrity. I can do whatever I want.
Jason did get recognised by plenty of people there, but he clearly didn't enjoy having to share the spotlight.
Why did you think that was funny?
Who is this hilarious?
Why is that funny?
Because he asked you for a picture. That's just whack. That's just funny.
Yeah, that's how.
It's hard to agree with Jason a lot of the time, so often he would lie. For instance, when he would tell people just how famous he was, or when he would tell them how much he had lifted in the past, or how many car accidents he had been involved in. But even with a man like Jason, when you're right, you're right.
Remember, Vegan Games is out.
Hey, fuck that dude.
He sucks. He talks so much shit.
Jason got to meet some pretty big names. Mr. Olympia winners Jay Cutler and Flex Lewis. And Jason looked like he was about to get a great conversation going with bodybuilder Kai Green. But then...
Hey, what's up, Kai Green?
Blackstone Labs, the company often accused of taking advantage of Jason, pushed Jason back, stopping him from communicating with Kai. Kai Green is well known for his interesting conversations and out there thinking. Not being a cookie cutter basically. So not only did the guys at Blackstone Labs deny Jason the chance to meet a bodybuilding great, they denied us what could have been some of the greatest men's of all time. Blackstone Labs didn't look good shooing Jason away from Kai Green. It wasn't that long ago that Jason and Blackstone seemed to be getting along just fine. Blackstone held a competition between Jason and the other Blackstone Lab employees to see who would win a pair of shoes. And much like Lenny winning his eating challenge with Nate, Jason winning this challenge was clearly important to him. He wasn't used to winning anything after all.
A series of competitions to test not only their physical ability, also their mental ability, and their ability to speak. All right, the first contest is the physical contest. 30 seconds, you do as many push-ups as possible.
22, 23, 24, all the way up, 25,
stop,
26,
26,
22,
I don't.
23,
stop,
24, a little farther from me, that one didn't count, come on, 21, that one didn't count, all the way down.
Stop, 21,
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, stop! Wow, Jason!
You're in the lead. So we're heading to the next round, which is the straight intelligence round.
What is better? Boobs or butts?
2, 1, go.
To quote the pragmatic Sir Mix-a-Lot, baby got back. This question has vexed us since the beginning of time. Boobs or butts? It's as important as Coke or Pepsi.
They provide cushion. And you know what else provides cushion? The Blackstone Labs Nike Hirachis. Yeah, easier to say. Boobs are kind of useless sometimes.
Boobs are better because they're luscious and they're
Talk to the camera.
they're luscious and they're so sexy and they jingle ling 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 and they're so freaking unbelievably lush and plump and sick and it's just piss. They're unbelievable. They look like honkers. They look like honkers and they look like big jugulars.
Genova wins.
Yeah!
He comes here and he wins the shoes. And you know what, Jason, I think it's very important that the camera know this, because I am Jason's good buddy, that I actually picked him to win that round. I wanted you to win it anyway.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
there you go, buddy.
thanks.
Lenny wanted to win his competition to silence his father's voice in his head. And Jason wanted to win, well, Jason just wanted the shoes, didn't he? For anyone who wasn't sure if Blackstone were using Jason, it was beginning to seem more and more like they were. Whenever Jason appeared in a Blackstone Labs video on YouTube, the video would get more views than it would without him. Without Jason, Blackstone were just another legitimate fitness supplement company. So giving Jason $200 and a pair of shoes didn't really seem like Blackstone doing Jason a favour anymore. Jason was actually doing them the favour. The only reason I know who Blackstone Labs are is because of Jason Genova, and that was probably the case for a lot of people out there. If Jason didn't bring any attention to Blackstone, would PJ and the others have even bothered with Jason? Maybe, but more than likely, probably not. Either way, it was definitely beginning to seem that Blackstone needed Jason more than Jason needed them. But whether they were using Jason or not really didn't matter in this moment. What mattered was that Jason legitimately won something.
Yay! I'm a champion! Piss!
Jason said he was done with bodybuilding and competing for a while. He needed a break. Losing the competition and being shunned at the fitness expo couldn't have been great for Jason's psyche. Being back with his fellow misfits was what he needed. But back in World Gym, Brad was there ranting and raving. However, for once, it wasn't about Jason's bad behavior. It was about people's bad behavior towards Jason.
They don't even give him any respect. This fucking kid keeps going back and hanging out with these assholes. The fuck out of here. Oh, because they pay him and they use him when it's convenient for them. That was a disgrace, bro. They fucking totally shunned his ass and made him, it was like, see, I can't say this shit when he's here because he'll just fucking run out of here. Because he's scared to confront anybody with the bullshit. It's a fucking joke. Anybody sees him on the regular street, they won't look at him twice. They don't know who the fuck.
I watched Nate's video, and the one question I had throughout it was, and everyone out there on YouTube, correct me if I'm wrong, was or was not Jason promoted as having or being there as a celebrity guest?
He doesn't even have a booth or nothing set up.
It said guest celebrity appearance by Jason Genova, and then when he got there, he was treated like a redheaded stepchild.
Exactly.
Why promote him as a celebrity guest and you give him absolutely zero special treatment.
When he wants to meet guys, they fucking push him to the side.
I thought that was a dick move.
I would have taken a dump on the hood of every one of their fucking cars if they pull that bullshit.
Dick move, in my opinion.
Right, but they know they can do that to Jason. They know they can push him around.
Like, we'll bust Jason's balls, but we'll also stand up for him when he needs to be stood up for. That's right.
Brad may have busted Jason's balls on an almost daily basis, but he clearly did it because he cared.
Hey, we're going out tomorrow.
What kind of,
you're coming with us.
Yeah, you're coming to watch the McGregor fight,
and this
dude.
way you can get us all free drinks and everything.
The what?
The iron extortion.
But don't worry, just because it was Christmas time, Brad hadn't gone through some Christmas Carol type change. He would still rip on Jason when it was required.
And PJ Brown to give you money?
No, let's not talk about that on camera, please.
Why? How did you get a French Canadian to give you $200? They're the cheapest fuckers on the planet.
He's the iron extortion.
Hey, you should be happy. Look, he's laughing. He knows it.
So it had been quite the adventure for Lenny and Jason. Lenny had been challenged by a non-threatening vegan, went back to his hometown, explained his tough upbringing, and had an epic showdown with Nate where he just wouldn't bring himself to give in. Jason tried to grab a little more fame, competed in another bodybuilding show, and was treated with no respect from Blackstone Labs. If only karma was an actual thing. Both Jason and Lenny would eventually meet back up at the gym. They may have had two very different journeys after the Ruby, but the pair would always come back to each other, and seemed to enjoy their time together more than they enjoyed doing eating contests or hanging out with supposed friends. Jason would laugh more, and Lenny had someone who would hang off his every word. The pair had each other as well as the rest of the Misfits. They seemed to need that more than anything else, to be part of something greater than themselves. Sure, it was fun for the Maniacs seeing Jason and Lenny do their own thing, but nothing quite gave Maniacs the warm feeling they got from seeing these two together. These two outcasts. These two freaks. These two Delray Misfits. We could only hope that things would never change.
Let's give a tour of the new gym.
My name is Iceville, Vanilla Man. I'm the real dealer baller. You got my jam, baby. I'm the Lord Vader of the South, baby. You know my beat. I'm a bad man, mamma jamma. I'm the internet celebrity YouTube star who's about to kick some ass on stage in the summertime. You got my vanilla. You got the ice cream jamma, man, jamma.
You guys heard it first. I didn't know Jason can rap, but this guy got bars.
It's been a second.
Peace out.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon. I'll see you this afternoon.
Is he single, Rich, or is he just a?
Yeah, you want to know, don't you?
No, I mean the
yeah,
guy's a
you
flirt.
do. Yeah.